Here we go. So in today's video, going to be trying to answer the question, which team is better at this point in time? Is it the Demon Estarossa team or the Goddess Bloody Ellie team? Now, don't get me wrong, both teams are definitely some of the strongest teams we have in the game at the moment. I would definitely say top 3, if not top 5, depending on how you view certain teams. I know a lot of people are really enjoying the Brunhild team at the moment, using the Ragnarok Diane with her Holy Relic. The Ultrush team is still very, very viable, and even a lot of people still saying the Barn team could easily be top 5. The Barn team is so good to the point where if you invested in those units back when they came out, you can still use them and easily win matches to this day. It's such a 50-50 with the card draw, but to start this off, we are going to be running, in my opinion, what is the best Demon team. To what a lot of other people, what is the same team. I would really like for the Ominous Nebula Zeldris to be on this team. However, the CC on this Zeldris is just that little bit better than his, and I don't know, man. I'd like for the Nebula Zeldris to be able to be run in the front, you know, really strong double AoE character, but he just wasn't what we were hoping. Esteros obviously being the main part of the team. Assault melee synergizing just that little bit better with the Trader melee. Esteros' kit and his, I think it's his passive, is it? The commandment, yeah, commandment kind of working against him being run with Trader melee, so there's that there. And then the Sigurd also synergizing really well with the AML. It's a really good comp combined with the artifact set. Unfortunately, don't have it maxed out because, man, once you get past that 3rd level, it takes a lot of materials. I'm very close to maximizing all of the card sets, but hey, what can you do? The Esterossa is going to be run on the attack crit, melee at HP defense, Sigurd HP defense, and the same for the Zeldris in the back. But going to be doing 3 matches with both teams, and let's dive in. And hoping we can have the teams show off as much as possible in their 3 matches, but one of the first points I'd like to start off with when talking about the Demon team is just how well they can work against certain matchups. If you get super lucky as well, giving yourself an extra AoE card, the ability to give yourself the 3 darkness debuffs right off the bat ends up giving your team so much stats comparable to something like the Barn team. Then in the next turn you can apply the 4th one and get the Encroach. But certain matchups with this team can be such an easy win, sometimes going against any of the Ultrush teams. Right before the Esterossas release, the Red Taunt Dian or the Fest Dian, whatever you want to call it, was running absolutely rampant, especially with Red Tarmiel as her association. Barely any teams and barely any units in the game could kill her, so there wasn't a crazy amount you could do, but with this Esterossa, that can easily be done. Barn team as well, still, once again, one of the strongest teams to this day, can easily be taken down by Esterossa. Certain teams would have to worry about maybe proccing the Arthur Holy Relic, and even once you kill Arthur, Barn Holy Relic procs, he still gets more HP related stats, he gets his ultimate, and you simply just lose. You're also applying a lot of buffs to yourselves with certain teams. We can easily take care of that with this Esterossa here, so really, really good against those 2 teams there. They're probably 2 of the best matchups for this team. One downside I would say though is, on certain occasions, the Archangel matchup can be very, very hard, especially with how common the 2 teams are at the moment. That is definitely a plus for the Archangel team, but I mean, if you're a player like myself and really like seeing really, really big numbers, the Esterossa team is entirely about that. I mean, the whole premise of the team is being able to hit 800,000 damage with a level 1 of his Flood cards. It's exactly what I play the game for. And with the release of the Demon Holy Relics, and with this Esterossa as well, there are so many kind of units that have been completely revived by his passive and the ability to be run on his team. These are always really scary running into the Ditto matchups. I think I might just go for something along these lines, try and get as much ult gauge for our Assault Meliodas as possible, because definitely don't want to be attacking into him. In this next turn, we're going to be forced to, because he's going to throw out the Extort card, I could imagine. But yeah, these ones are definitely a hot 50-50. But yeah, heaps of the older characters like Green Monspeed, Red Gloxinia are super viable in this team, and the Gloxinia also giving the team a whole bunch of utility with the cleanse and all that kind of stuff. Another thing, the Archangel team does have a cleanse as well, but so does this team as well, which is one of 3 characters in the game that are at least viable that have access to the cleanse effect. Let's see what we want to go for here. Thinking maybe, I think this might be a little bit overkill throwing all of these into Esterossa, but we'll end up getting the melee ultimate anyway, so if he decides to go for Esterossa, actually might be able to finish him off with the Tentacle Blade. Yeah, look at that. I'd like for this to go to Sigurd, but I feel like the auto lock-on is going to target melee. Yeah, how did I know? Oh wow, killing melee as well? Oh jeez, yeah, that's what I mean. The damage is absolutely insane, and I mean, you can use the Esterossa HP defense, he is still extremely strong, and him having a Flood card as well, you're not going to miss out on as much damage as you'd think on that card, but I don't know, man, if you're going for that much damage, you might as well fully send it. The Meliodas here as well with HP defense, just with the amount of buffs and stuff he gives himself, the ultimate will still one-tap majority, if not all teams, with that ultimate. So don't really need to worry about any HP crit builds, any attack defense, any of that kind of stuff. Go HP defense, you'll see what he can do now. He will absolutely blitz everyone on this team. The Rimuru though, very strong character against Estaros. I'm surprised that we don't see more Rimurus than we do at this point. I'm gonna throw out the Extort just for that little bit more damage, make Melee look a little bit better. Yeah, no, Rimuru's still a really good pick. I'm surprised with the absolute, pretty much everyone was running him beforehand, well before the 3rd anniversary. I mean, we got close to killing Rimuru, right? And I'm still classifying that as a one-shot in my own eyes. And probably the most important factor of the Demon Team is it's so insanely fun to use. Probably my most fun, or my favorite team to run in the game at this point. Man, being able to use all these older characters, the damage, it's exactly what I live for. What do we want to go for? Rushing a Sigurd ultimate isn't exactly viable. I might just go ahead and move those around instead. Merge the Extort card for the extra card draw. Man, the Chandler as well. If you can get Chandler's Holy Relic, probably the best variation of the team, or definitely one of. Even without the Holy Relic, he still does really good, but man, the amount of the tanking ability he gets with that Holy Relic is insane. Yeah, no, team is really fun to use. I do like the Goddess team, and it's definitely the first kind of archetype we've had for that kind of team, but having to wait to the turn 2, turn 3, all that kind of stuff in order to start doing damage, I don't know about that one. Let's see. I'm hoping we can just kill with those two there, and then we can weaken Chandler with that one. That way when he puts up his counter, hopefully we can just finish him off with one of those. Oh man, I really didn't have to use the level 2. I probably could have used the melee AoE instead, gotten us extra darkness procs and gone about that another way. Also haven't been able to inspect, or completely forgot to inspect our team in the first match, but easily some of these characters hitting 400,000 HP, which is wild. And a Festbarn in the back, wow. Really hoping he doesn't have another block card for Chandler, because I don't think he can kill Aristorosa with melee in this one. Especially if he doesn't have any of those single target cards. Ooh, Heart Crusher can still do a decent amount of damage. Okay, yeah, sweet. He didn't crit. Perfect. I think we might... Ooh, having him survive both attacks there could be a little bit risky, but we'll throw off those there, and that can... I can imagine that'll be Estarossa finishing off. We only have our Estarossa 3-6, so my luck on the battle was so bad. That's after 2 rotations as well. I think I pulled my first one at 9... No. I think it was around 1,100 gems. I pulled my first actual copy, other than the guaranteeds. And what a performance from Estarossa to finish off that final match, and here we are jumping over to the Archangel team. Previously, before the Estarossa's release, I would definitely say replacing the Sariel for the red Tarmiel was a better pick. I don't know, man, I just really enjoy being able to use that Tarmiel, but this guy counters so many matchups. The passive as well, all that kind of stuff is so insanely good, and the Grace as well. I will actually end up removing the Sariel there. I might swap out for King something instead, and it's still be decent. CC is 6-6, but yeah, this team definitely really good to run. Ragnarok Barn in the back. Unfortunately, the Archangel team doesn't have a full slot or a backline kind of supporting unit. I would like for us to get a Mael sometime soon, but if they were to make my man a backlines character, I would be so insanely heartbroken. But Margaret is going to be on the HP defense. Same goes for Sariel, Barn on HP defense, and then the Elizabeth on the HP crit, and then rocking the Archangel card set. But yeah, whole bunch more CC, and let's dive into these 3 matches. Let's hope we can win these 3 as well. I was very happy to see that we won the 3 with the Demon team. Man, look at the CC difference between these 2 teams, and more often than not, if you can get an extra one of the Sariel kind of cards, it's just an instant win at that point. Let's see, if I attack into him and then instantly cleanse, that'll make it so there's no debuffs on us, and then going over to his turn, you won't get the Sigurd buff, which is really big for us. Also applying those debuffs will drop his damage just a little bit. Actually, yeah, no, I did play that right. For some reason I thought I did that wrong. Okay, let's see. I mean, a good amount of Elizabeth cards. If he can end up attacking into us, that'd be perfect, because if we can fully max out the Liz passive, that's the main thing you're going for with Sariel there. And damage as well, apparently. Goddamn, I was not expecting Sariel to be able to put that much out. Good damage on Esther. Oh yeah, look at that. Sariel is cooking, and then we have the Margaret there. She supports the team an insane amount with her passive and Holy Relic that she's pretty much a must-have, and as you saw there with the everyone, or yeah, pretty much the whole team getting healed. I mean, look at the increase of stats you get for Elizabeth. I feel bad now that I haven't shown the Demon stats compared to the Goddess stats when they're fully buffed up, but at this point we'll go ahead and throw out our AoE cards, and that one's pretty much a match. You guys can see what I mean by this team does an insanely good job at countering the Demon team. There's not much you can do majority of the time, which is probably my biggest advocate for why this team is really, really good at this point in the game. And just like the Demon team, having access to the cleanse is absolutely massive. Definitely helps out with a couple of those matchups. What can we get an extra counter? Unfortunately not. Let's see, I think I'm still going to go ahead and go for the triple Sariel attack, get as many of those debuffs out as possible. However, they are just going to be cleansed, moving over to their turn there. I would really like it if he didn't cleanse those, but oh well. Team also has a good amount of Holy Relics, whereas when the Demon side, both Estarossa and both of the, regardless if you're using Assault Melee or Trader Melee, neither of them have the Holy Relics, whereas Margaret, Sariel, and even if you were to use Tarmiel, all have Holy Relics. Even if you were to use the red Sariel or the blue Tarmiel, which, I mean, I wouldn't recommend, you are still going to get the extra CC from having the Holy Relics, which is nice. Back to our side. Go something like that, and then I might just go ahead and cleanse. Just get rid of the card, that way we can get some more card draw. Because yeah, I can imagine at this point he's pretty much forced to attack into us. Even if he doesn't, I feel like we are in a lot better of a state than he is. Definitely smart of him to save the Breath of Bless card for this turn though. Gets rid of all those debuffs on him. It's not going to save him a crazy amount when it comes to how much damage he'll take, because they weren't really affecting his defense capabilities, but I wonder how much damage we'll be able to get with the Quell here. Let's see. What are your stats looking like? We've only got, what, 1 or 2 procs with the Elizabeth, haven't we? 5. Okay, no, we can max it out in this one here. Let's go AoE, single target, and then we'll throw out the Sariel attack. Because yeah, having her with a lot of ult gauge will mean, I believe it means the single target does a little bit more. I might be wrong about that, but still, we're going to be able to finish off Elizabeth, which is the main thing. And I have had times where this Sariel's ult has really impressed me when it comes to damage, completely wiping the field. And here we have it, the final opponent of the video. Surely we out CC? Yeah, perfect. Kept the Knights out CCing throughout the entire video. Does look to be an Ult Rush team though, which is just a little bit scary. Let's go for 1, 2, and then I probably still want to hold on to Breath of Bless because he has Infect. We'll just go for the Holy Blade card instead. Yeah, I could imagine he's going to hopefully go ahead and proc. Oh, okay, actually using. Yeah, I always fall for dodge for at least once every video or two, so at least that'll make up for tomorrow's video, hopefully. Should have used the Holy Blade card first, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, that means he's running the Coin Shop Melon in the back for sure, which is, I mean, kind of good to know. It means his Rimmer will get a little bit of extra damage, all that kind of stuff from the Holy Relic, which I could imagine he has. Any attacks into the Sariel, please? Yeah, no, he's playing smart. Yeah, I still feel like this is a really bad spot for us. I really would have liked another taunt. In saying that, the Rimmer Ultimate's AoE anyways. Just some more Sariel cards to kind of lower the damage would have been nice though. That's alright. Hoping that his Rimmer isn't a super high ult level, because we could end up getting one tapped here due to the Abyss effect. With all the buff removal, that is one thing about this team. Although, once again, the Rimmer doesn't get used a crazy amount since Estarossa's release. I'm not too sure why I think he'd be getting used more with how good he is against the Estarossa. He also does really well against the Goddess team with all the buff removal, all that kind of stuff. Then getting the extra pierce damage. I definitely feel like we're going to see a Rimmer one-tappers here. Because yeah, if this was my room, I have the Rimmer 5-6, and that would be an easy dub. Yeah, it'll tick over to our turn and we're done here. Oh, and the melee pierce card to finish it off. I mean, other than that, you guys have seen easily what both of the teams are capable. I'm still happy with what I've done. That just goes to show that although they are both very, very strong in their own rights, they can still get countered. A lot of the matchups and a lot of PvP at this point in the game is a matter of rock, paper, scissors. You have good matchups, you have bad matchups. Really just depends on who you queue into and the kind of team you can use to minimize as many of those matchups as possible. But finally, at the end of the video, who would I say is the better team? At this point, unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to give it to the Goddess team, just having higher CC, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like the Elizabeth and the Sariel, the whole team just has a little bit more utility than the Estarossa does. I mean, once again, I still do massively prefer the Estarossa team and probably run it as my main team. Having the Sariel to counter them just ends up working so insanely well, but who knows, we could still get another Demon character within the next month, maybe 2, that could push them to number 1. I feel like both teams are really looking for that one unit to push them over the line, but that just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.